heard this term cardiac arrest a lot recently with this case and the hospitalization of DeMar Hamlin after he suffered cardiac arrest during a Bills game. So we brought in today Dr. Kohli to talk about cardiac arrest. And I think I've wondered this question, others have asked, the difference between what is cardiac arrest versus a heart attack.
Yeah, very different
They're
conditions.
not the same thing.
Not at all.
Okay.
And sometimes we conflate the two. We think they're the same thing. But the heart is a pump. It's a muscle that's pumping blood all the time. And it needs oxygen. It needs blood in order to do its job. So if there is a problem with the blood flow to the heart, that is called a heart attack, where you actually have a plumbing issue. The heart's not getting the blood that it needs. If the problem is actually with the electricity to the heart that regulates our heartbeat and our heart rhythm, that's called a cardiac arrest. Now, a plumbing problem, like if you have a pipe burst in your house, it can cause the electricity to short.
Interesting.
So a problem with blood flow, a heart attack, can lead to cardiac arrest. In fact, that's one of the most common causes of cardiac arrest. But the two have different origins.
So plumbing versus electricity.
That's right.
Cardiac arrest is the electricity. I love that's a really good little example here. And speaking of causes, so you said one of the primary causes for cardiac arrest can be a heart attack. Mm-hmm. What else?
Yeah, that's the most common. Now, every heart attack doesn't cause a cardiac arrest, but that's the most common cause. You can also have structural problems with the heart. So if something is actually wrong with the pump, with the muscle, because of a genetic condition or an acquired condition like a cardiomyopathy, the muscle is weak or the muscle is stretched out like a balloon, that can cause the electrical cables in the heart to get stretched out, which can then lead to a cardiac arrest. If there are toxins that you're taking, cocaine or methamphetamine or even alcohol, that can irritate the electricity of the heart, cause a cardiac arrest. Electrical problems can occur because of electrolytes. So if you lose too much potassium because of severe diarrhea or something else, that can cause the electricity to misbehave and cause a cardiac arrest. And interestingly enough, depression has also been linked to cardiac arrest, especially in women.
And speaking of women, is there a difference here for women versus men with cardiac arrest?
There is a difference. So women less commonly have cardiac arrest with a known cardiac history. Men are more common to have that type of arrest. Some small studies have actually shown us as well that women are more likely to arrest during the night. Compared to men. And this could have to do with the circadian rhythm, which is our body's sort of natural clock, the way that it regulates our electricity. So women can more often walk into the doctor, have a normal EKG or electrocardiogram, have no real medical history, and then have a higher risk of cardiac arrest. Now, postmenopausal women become more like men. So once we hit menopause, something changes in our biology, and then, we're sort of more like men. One of the other differences, and this makes me really sad, is that we've made tremendous advances in reducing mortality or dying from cardiac arrest in men, but the gap in women still seems to be wider. So there's a disparity there.
What's going on with that?
It's a problem. We don't study women as much. So we really have to change that on its head moving forward.
So some of these causes you're telling us about, I'm wondering if we relate to genetics, though. Is there an element here if you are more prone to this in your family?
Yes, so family history is a big one.
Okay.
So one of the things I like to tell all my patients, I want to tell you as well, whenever you get for family get-togethers at Christmas or whatever, just always talk about your family history. Know if there's a family member, a cousin, a parent, anyone who might have had a sudden cardiac death young, who might have died suddenly without people really knowing or understanding why. Because if you have that information, you can empower yourself to get genetic testing to actually figure out if you might be at risk for sudden cardiac death and actually change the trajectory of how things could happen if you do have a condition that predisposes you.
What a fun conversation at the holiday dinner table.
Well, a little glass of wine sometimes helps to have that conversation.
But it is important, understanding your genetic history. I mean, that is so critical to try to help take care of yourself moving forward too.
Yeah, because you can have problems with the electricity in your heart, the way that, you've set up to sort of have an electrical problem. You can have a problem with the structure or function of your heart, or you can have heart disease. You can have blockages that develop and just be predisposed to that. Just yesterday I had somebody in my office in his 40s who's already had a triple bypass because of his family history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is really good information. Thank you for helping us kind of parse out the difference. The little analogy, I like that. Electricity and plumbing. Good. Cardiac arrest is the electricity.
You got it.
Got it. Thank you, Dr. Kohli.